One of sailing's most prestigious events is set for what's been described as a clever rule change. The Volvo Ocean Race will see all male teams restricted to just 7 crew members, but teams will be allowed to have 9 members if they include 2 females as part of their crew. Dee Caffari is the only woman to have sailed around the world single-handed 3 times, and she's with me. Dee, good morning to you.
Good morning.
It's an important change then. Now, to put the story in perspective, Tracy Edwards was once part of an all-male crew, one of the world's greatest yachtswomen. Tell us what job she did in that all-male crew.
Well, it was back in '86 when it was called the Whitbread, and she had to fight her way onto the boat. They didn't want her, and it was back when superstitions of you should never take a woman to sea. And so she got herself on there as the cook and worked her way through, and then started participating in helping the boat sail and race around the world. And that really kind of ignited her desire to then follow on in the footsteps with Maiden that everybody knew so well.
So these new rule changes, you can have boats, 7 men and 2 women, but if selected, you don't want to just go and make up the numbers, do you? Bearing in mind the Tracy Edwards story.
No, I mean, it's definitely a rule to incentivise you to have a mixed crew. Those extra pairs of hands make a massive difference. And I think it's very short-sighted if the guys look at it to get 2 small little people that doesn't really make a difference. Ideally, you're going to want to have the strongest, the best drivers and women that can really contribute. So those 2 extra pairs of hands make a massive difference.
Is there a fear, though, that they could say to you, oh, we want you just to download the weather reports? Well,
there is that kind of train of thought, but then there's others that are really trying to use this. And I think we need to focus on those guys. And anybody that says, oh, we'll just go with 7 guys and no women, I think may be seen to be a bit foolhardy in that decision.
What chance is there that you could have a crew of 5 men and 5 women, because the rules allow for a crew of 10 now?
That's right, and the rules allow the configuration to change each leg, so I think it will be a learning curve, and definitely a team of 5 men, 5 women will be extremely strong, and those extra pairs of hands on the import racing, when there's lots of turners to turn, those guys are going to dominate.
You haven't been picked yet, and yet you've sailed around the world all on your own 3 times. You're a must, aren't you, for someone?
Well, I'm hoping so. I'm hoping that I'll be an attractive offer. I'm pushing myself forwards, and in the meantime, if I can't get on someone else's team, then maybe I can lead a team myself.
Dee, many years ago, I got on a boat in Lisbon, and the captain said, we're going to sail across the Bay of Biscay, and it's going to be rough. And it was very rough, and the waves were just absolutely enormous, and at times it was actually quite frightening. I should add, I was standing on the deck of the QE2. Now, you sail around the world all on your own. What's it like for you and also your family?
Well, it is pretty scary, and I think that's one of the things that makes us sign up, to have those extreme conditions. It is battling the forces of nature, but you get to see nature in its natural environment. You have to try and channel that energy of the natural weather and make it work for you. And those highs and lows, the extremes that you experience, make it all worthwhile. As for my family, I don't think they fully understand my decisions sometimes, but they're very supportive and are very proud of what I've done.
Well, I wish you well, and I hope you get a selection for that big race. Thanks for calling in to see us this morning. Dee Caffari, thank you very much.
Thank you.